Live.
We live?
5.
Oh.
Yo, what's up, man? I know we didn't advertise as usual for this end of the year wrap up podcast, man. But you know, at the last minute, I felt like we had to give the people something, man, on the way out the door, man. And so I called up on the brothers, and Keelan was able to make the trip for me as usual. Mm-hmm. And we're gonna just talk briefly about what's to happen, how we feel about the year ending, man, what we got coming up, what we got, and just try to pour some positive energy out, man. I know you got a lot on your chest. I hope you speak, but I know you got a lot on your heart right now, man. And I want to make sure you, before this year was over, we got a platform, so ain't no reason why we don't use our platform to further what's on our hearts or what we thinking about. You know what I'm saying? So sure. I seen a few posts that you made, and I know how you is when it comes to your crew. And so I definitely want you to and what you were saying make a lot of sense. So I definitely want you to be able to speak on that. And then we're gonna end the year on a good vibe, man, and get ready for the next year. Next year is gonna be we working out all the kinks.
Yeah.
We working out all the kinks, man. It's a process. It's a patient process. But next year it's gonna be on and popping.
We all good.
We're gonna be on all the platforms that we can be on. We gonna be on. So with that being said, I'm gonna let you pop it off. Or do you want me to pop it off?
It don't matter. I can start.
I'm gonna let you pop it off, man. How was your 2022? Man?
Oh man, kind of like a whirlwind. Actually, it's like a lot of things happened. Like I wasn't able to just sit down, relax, and enjoy it all yet. But it was a good whirlwind, I'll say. Like
okay.
Right now we ending the year off, like you said, of 2022. Man, opened a couple things, a bike shop this year, coffee shop still on the way. Was just actually looking for the equipment today, so we still on the way for that. The school transitioned into a new space this year, all which was a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying? But I just haven't had the chance to sit down and really absorb everything that went on. They say time flies, but that is the truth.
It really flies.
that is the truth.
It's like you look up and every day, at the end of the day over with, you just like, man, like where it go?
Where did it go? It's one of the first years, even as a business guy, like I really start breaking it down quarterly type of things, and as the quarters went by, it was like, God, dog, we halfway through the year, then like, dang, it's September already, and then now December, it's crazy, but it's been fun. It's been fun. Throughout the year, some of the things that we got done and got accomplished through Excalibur and the full crew, man, it's been a beautiful ride, a beautiful journey for 22. Definitely looking forward to see what's coming up for 23.
You excited about it, or you? I'm fearful.
I think you know me. I ain't really always excited about it.
I want to say because you definitely like
a lot of times it's like I'm definitely excited about it, but I hold it in internally because I never know what's gonna happen next. You know what I'm saying? I'm always that guy that like we won here, but we got to be ready for that next week.
Now, see, I'm gonna share something with you, right? So I had counseling this morning, and 8 o'clock this morning, lady got talked me into having a teleconference just so I could make it, right? So, and she hit me with hard, heavy stuff early, right? I ain't got to sleep on my eyes. I was like, hold on, wait a minute, give me a minute, right? But she was asking me about being grateful and about what I accomplished this year, because I told her the same thing. Like, I don't know if I really have accomplished anything, me personally. And then when I look, because I was having a hard time, like drawing stuff. I know I've done stuff, but like, and she was like, you really got to give yourself opportunity, man, to really appreciate that, because if you don't, the work gonna start getting real heavy on you. But I told her, I said, I'm used to as soon as I achieve this task, I'm on to the next thing. Because me personally, and then you can speak to this. Me personally, I feel like I have more time behind me than I do in front of me, and so much of that was taken from me. I don't got the luxury of just chilling, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Contrary to what people think, I spend a lot of time. I ain't gonna say a lot of time. I spend time in bed, right, watching TV till I fall asleep. But I don't even know if that's rest, because my mind's steady working. I'm steady thinking about what I need to try to accomplish the next day. And people say, well, you take the time to appreciate what you've done, right? Because, in 3 years, you done did a lot, da-da-da. But in my mind, I hear that, but I also hear this. That's good for 3 years. If I ain't did nothing next year, now I'm behind. Now, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't still no I'm ahead of the game. Like, I'm ahead of the game as long as I'm steady doing something. But in the moment's time, it can be like, man, you ain't did nothing.
Yeah. I feel that same way. Sometimes I don't feel like I have the luxury to relax or luxury to just sit back and enjoy it all the time. And it's something in my own head, and just as it's in yours, like, I can definitely say for you, looking outside in, even though, we always together, or a lot of the things, bro, 3 years for what you've accomplished is amazing. It's a lot of stuff that people coming out, and you talk about collateral sanctions all the time, that make those sanctions define what they do. And you found a way to, even though you still have them, you found a way to navigate those, and those are the type of things that I'm very impressed with. Just because you don't allow that stumbling block to set you all the way back. You might feel it. You know what I'm saying? You might. That's everybody feels a stub toe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you still got to get up and go to the bathroom. You feel me?
Facts. I if I'm fair, if I'm honest and transparent, I really attribute that to the people who has embraced me. I've always had a hustler mentality, right? My mentor Fred he always tell me, he's like, you're a leader. Now you're trying to teach me how to learn how to be a coach, and I'm learning these two different things, right? Definitely. He said, you're a leader. You'll go out and you'll do, but you won't necessarily take the time to nurture the other person and trying to get. And so I'm learning that, right? But I will say this: when it comes to you, and I never thought this. Literally, when I got out of prison, I've told this story before. I chose barbering because I was my own boss. It reminded me of selling drugs without selling drugs and destroying the community and going back to prison. But I made my own hours. I was my own boss. As soon as you give me my product, as soon as I give you my product, you give me my money. It was so parallel to the dope game. I'm like, okay, I can do this, and don't worry about breaking the law and going back to prison. But I was I'm like, this levels to this. It's levels to the barbering game, right? And the level you on, it's just like, I'll be honest with you. I learned so much about professionalism from you that I use overall. You know what I'm saying? I never thought I would get that barbering, right? I never thought I would get that barber. And in our staff meeting today, we was talking about in the divine time. People gonna be in your space. You're gonna accomplish and get what it is that you desire to get or that you need to be successful in divine time. If we just patient, right? And so I look at a lot of our relationship as that. You know what I'm saying? Going back to when you first, I still didn't really know you good, and we listened to Pastor Mark, and you just came up to like, look, people watching. They ain't invited to the table yet, but they watching. But so even in that moment, because I was frustrated, a lot of my tears was from not being embraced like I expected to be and thought I would be, because I'm coming home somebody different than when I was when I went to prison. So I'm like, everybody going to embrace that, and it wasn't the case. Yeah. So I was getting frustrated.
It's a trust issue. It
was, you know what I'm saying? And I understand it now, but then it's just like, y'all should be happy a dude doing the right thing and trying to help change the community, and I ain't on the bull crap that I was on. You know what I'm saying? But in that moment, you gave me something that I could hold on to, as opposed to like, you know what? All right, if y'all gonna say F me, then it's F y'all.
Right.
In the long run, I'm gonna lose.
Right.
But I could easily have that mentality.
Right. Yeah. That was. I mean, I seen it in you. It was like sometimes you can tell a person's genuine aura. You know, and when you first came out, and I had already been watching on Facebook and whatever, and you know, barbering is what I love. So when I see somebody attach themselves to something that I love, then I tend to follow it. I tend to watch it. And
you do.
You know,
you do too.
You
do.
Know what I'm saying? And then when it's somebody that I know, I want to make sure they doing all right in it. And so when you first came home, and it was the Kenmore Block Party that I first, you know, walked up to you and acknowledged you, and I just wanted to, you know, make sure I really told you and really genuinely let you know that I'm here. You know, that's it.
Yeah.
That was it. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you need, and it's because in watching you and listening to you, because you was already talking about this stuff when you was in Mansfield in the barbershop, you know, doing Facebook Lives or whatever.
Yeah,
you
people don't know that. People don't know that.
You know what I'm saying? So I watched all of that, and it's always good to see, you know, when you the continuation of it. That's success. The continuation of something that you know was going on for the longest, and you just consistently, continually do it. You know, it hasn't changed for you. Your heart hasn't changed for this since the moment you got out, and I can see that. I don't know how many other people watching, but I can see that. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So let me ask you this, and we can both answer this. But so it's almost like I'm questioning you, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But my counselor asked me this today, and I had to think for a moment. And but what do you think was your biggest accomplishment in 2022?
Biggest accomplishment in 2022.
You know what? I don't want to say biggest. Your most important accomplishment.
Let me think. If we're just looking at it from people seeing what I do, I'm fully community based in everything that I do. So I think for me, to be involved in 3 different businesses that tie into what I do, community based, that's my biggest accomplishment. The bike shop, which involves the cycling community, which builds a cycling community and a community to bring people together that really wasn't riding together. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's an accomplishment for me. Like, one thing for sure is you don't see a lot of us on bikes.
Facts.
When it used to be, you know what I mean? As a kid, that's what we done.
Put the baby together, everything.
Everything. You know, we had our vice grips. Anything that happened to that bad boy, we was able to do it. As we got older, the desire to want to be on the bike for one reason or another pushed us away from that whole community. Mm-hmm. And one thing I know about being on the bike is it's mentally freeing. And once I got back out there doing it, not as a child, but as an adult, it put me in a space where now I'm connecting with people like this is what they do all the time. Like, now how come we ain't doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like, if these people are feeling free when they out there, how come we aren't getting into this? And that was one of the things. So that connective tissue to the community is large for me, as well as being able to grow youth in cycling and then go to the barber school and teach the youth to have their own profession and be entrepreneurs, you know, and then teaching them what I do in the community so they can give back once they get out into the community. That's a couple of my biggest accomplishments for me. That's what makes 2022 look good for me.
For me, it was actually having my nonprofit established, right? Scary.
Mm-hmm.
But to be sitting in 2019 on my rack in prison with a life sentence, with all of these dreams and desires and visions that I just prayed I would have one day be able to have the opportunity to try to fulfill. Mm-hmm. And then to now in 2022 be deep in the midst of fulfilling it and having fulfilled some of it. Mm-hmm. It's humbling and it's amazing, right? And when I take a moment, I can appreciate that, but it only be a moment. And then it's like, but next year they're going to tell me I ain't did nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And my counselor tell me quit worrying about them, but that's easier said than done. Because for me, my motivation is trying to take the little homies that look like me and been through what I've been through growing up and keeping them from going where I had to go. Mm-hmm. And that's almost a 24/7 job. Yeah. Because when you're in them streets, you ain't on nobody. You ain't on a normal person's timetable. You know, when y'all sleep, we up. It was demon time before they started calling it demon time. Mm-hmm. You know, so understanding that, it's like ain't no days off. Even though I need to take days off, it's always a crisis around the corner. That's the reality of our neighborhoods, of our kids. It's a crisis around the corner all the time, and they need people who can help them navigate those crises so they don't make decisions that's going to put them in the penitentiary. Even though some of them, unfortunately, is going. You know, if we blessed, fortunate enough that they're able to do that and not get killed along the way, right? So that's mine. So what's the biggest thing you looking forward to? Professionally, personally and professionally for 2023?
2023, man. I definitely got big goals. I keep big goals.
Definitely do.
It's just about when I want to release the goals and actually go after them. Man, so part of what 2022 done was allowed me to become an owner of a facility, you know. So I own the property in Girard, which is an accomplishment for me. Like I've definitely had mentors and previous friends that have done that already, and I love that accomplishment from them. So those are new goals, you know what I'm saying, to set out. Definitely trying to own more things, not just like houses or anything. I'm talking about commercial stuff. I'm moving towards the commercial property desire, and it's really because, like, if I'm able to create opportunities for people in the barbershop already, in both of them, why not have places where why not open up more places where the opportunities are going to be just as grand? You know what I'm saying? In different places, in different areas where you don't expect us to go. And so in that, you got to venture out and try to find properties that are available. And that's one of the goals for that. Like, it's always about making sure somebody else could be able to live or create value for their life in an establishment. So that's what I'm looking forward to, man. Probably.
So that's what's dope about you. Even what you just said, it wasn't about you. It wasn't about you. It was about other people.
It's and I know. At times you're supposed to be selfish, but nobody in life is successful without somebody else.
Facts.
You know, so my success may depend on somebody else, just like their success may depend on mine. But how can I help you accomplish yours so we can all do this together? You know, so it's always a tie-in to somebody.
Right.
Like Excalibur doesn't survive without barbers, you know, in there being able to, you know, cut hair, have great customer service, be a place where people look at me like, that's dope. I want to be a part of that. You know, without that vibe between me and the other barbers, you know, the success could be very low. You know what I'm saying? But the success of everybody together as an incorporation, that makes it more valuable than, you know, just it being me. I can go work in the studio, you know what I'm saying, have my own, I got clientele for 20 years and just be sitting and chilling.
Right.
But what does that do for everybody else?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you could be too. I told you, people be like, man, it takes 6 months to get in CQ. I be like, poke tink tink.
Poke tink tink. But what does my value of experience do being alone?
Gotcha.
So that's what those type of things do for me. Like it allows me to not just grow Excalibur, but grow other people and be able to give back to them.
That's at the end of the day. That's the formula of life. So as you get, so you give.
100%.
That's how it's supposed to go. That's the cycle.
100%.
That's the cycle. You know. For me, it's, and I'm learning. Like God has literally given me everything that I asked for. That's dangerous, though.
Ain't it?
Because now I am figuring out how to balance that. And I can still, and the things that I have yet to get, I see them manifesting. So for me, it's allowing it to manifest the way it's supposed to manifest, and not necessarily how I want it to look, but yet it's still what it is that I desire to have. But that's my biggest excitement is watching my nonprofit grow.
What's the goal? That's your goal for 2023?
No, so my goal for 2023 is being established enough that I have my own space to actually carry through the vision that I have for my nonprofit. So, like I say, but I see it manifesting. It might not necessarily be my own center yet. But I see the space manifesting for me to do anything that I desire to do when it comes to the work that I want to do. So I'm excited about that. Scared, you know. When I went last week and I did my first consultation with the firm that's going to be doing my grants and stuff for me, right? And it's like, okay, you know, I'm attached to URC and I'm going to be attached to URC, like. You know, I told the other day she was divine. She was divinely placed in my life. And so we're going to be joined at the hip, as far as I'm concerned. But at the end of the day, too, though, it's like, okay, bruh, like, let's go.
Right.
You know, you can't be little bruh forever.
Yeah.
And so that's scary, man,
Yeah.
you know, because I failed so much in my life. My biggest thing, I don't want that to be what people remember.
What's that? The
Failure.
fear? Oh, failure?
Yeah, that's where the fear comes into it. The fear of me trying to do this and it fails. And it's like, damn, what I got now?
Right.
But
I think we all have the fear of some type of failure. But a lot of times that's what prevents us from pushing forward.
true.
So
They said the courage is not the absence of fear,
it's overcoming.
overcoming in spite of it, right? And that's what I use a lot of times to keep like, dog, let's go, dog. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You ain't got no option in this matter, man.
Yeah, you got to be fearful at the same time. It's like, all right, but gotta go.
Gotta go.
Gotta go. And you know, sometimes sometimes people need motivation to do that. And listen to things, you know, you watch other people do it. But a lot of times it's just us being in our own way, you know what I'm saying? Taping our hands together, you know.
Facts.
So that we don't just go out there, like, because we persecute ourselves, like, because of what we think other people will feel about us.
Yeah.
You know, and why should we do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, because if they could have done it, they would do it. But sometimes we got to just let that go. It's like, so when I first decided to go to the mall, you wouldn't believe how many people said, "Why would you do that?
Why would you do that? I can only imagine, especially in Youngstown.
Why would you do that? We're not coming out there.
Yeah.
You know, like we not coming out
Right.
there." And you know, they tried to place fears on me, their fears on me. But when you see a vision, and when you know that vision is divinely given, you got to push, man. It was like, nah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? This is where it's at. People don't expect this. People don't see this coming.
And this year you celebrate your what?
Ninth year.
Ninth year?
Ninth year, yeah.
That's what's up.
We celebrated our ninth year.
For sure. And you always say that too.
Yeah.
That, for sure. For sure. Sometimes I be feeling like, man, people, and I don't even want to put our business out there, but I can because it's like that for everybody in the shop. Like, one of the reasons why I was hesitant was because, like, I'm like, bro, I don't got no clientele. Like, I'm going to go out there and it's appointments and it's book. I'm like, they ain't going to really, you know. And people steady like, no, Keelan. And I wanted to be just because of how you embrace me, right? But I'm like, I don't know how that's going. And you're like, man, don't even worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Don't even worry. You could either do it this way with the booth or the
Commission.
or the commission, whatever. I'm like, okay, it made more sense commission-wise. But then it's been so many days because of the stuff that I'm doing that I'm not there. And I be thinking to myself, like, man, bro, he really, really is just extending the olive branch that you don't got to make because if it's on commission, then you make it based off of me, my availability. And so I appreciate that. I want you to know that. I acknowledge that, man. I've thought about that on numerous occasions, man, because I know that's something that you just doing genuinely out the kindness of your heart, because it really makes no business sense,
Right.
right? Really, when we dealing with numbers, it really makes no business sense.
Right.
So I know that's just something that you're doing because you believe in what I'm trying to do, and you rocking with me, and so I appreciate that. Yeah, so we have something. Because I don't want to keep everybody too long, but I want you to be able to speak about what's on your heart right now, man, and wake of what happened recently. And a lot of people have been asking me about it, so I didn't even know the brother, but there was a lot of people that knew the brother, man.
Yeah. It's you know, when we come to these times, the end of the year hosts a lot of different emotional feelings for people. Holidays, man, are really rougher than people think. You know, while we embrace the desire to want to spend time with families, buy gifts and all of that stuff, there's others that are like really trying to push their way through this thing emotionally. You know,
I know some myself.
Yeah, whether it be the loss of somebody during those times. Like, I lost my mother in 2019 on the 20th of November. You know, I believe it was like 7 or 8 days before Thanksgiving that year. It was going to be my first year without her, you know. So for those who may have lost somebody through the holidays or stuff like that, man, this is a rough time and people really need to embrace. But the other thing is relationship-wise, like this is a tough time for relationships. So sometimes you got to take time out, and it's not one of those things where everything, you know, we have good times and stuff like that. But sometimes people, even in joking matters, you know, can be really sensitive about this time of year. And so last week, was it last week or this Sunday? It was actually, last Sunday. Sunday.
Because it was the day after Thanksgiving.
Saturday.
When it happened? Yeah.
So, you know, our fellow brother and barber at Excalibur, team member, family member at Excalibur, decided that he wanted to take his own life. And, man, it was like one of those things that we just seen him, you know, we always hear those cliches. Man, I just seen him, but we really just, you know, seen talk to him, and he was in for what it looked like, good spirits. You know, he from the time he got there, he was excited to be part of the team, part of the family, and always just a kind spirit, golden hearted dude. You know, and you could never really tell anything was wrong. And that's sometimes is the dangerous part of things.
Right.
So sometimes it's always best, even though they're going to get at, yo, when you ask them, yo, what's up? You good? Yeah, I'm good. People always going to do that. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we got to take that time and be like, yo, hey, let's go kick it real quick. You know, forget that you good stuff. Hey, yo, let's go get some lunch real quick or something.
Or don't even ask if you good. Just,
hey,
what's up, man? Come rock with me for a minute. Because you recognize certain things.
That's it.
I'm learning that with the kids because they so traumatized and so mistrusting. They ain't going to tell you that they're hurting. Or they ain't going to ask you for a hug. Yeah. But they want one. Yeah. You know? And then I get to playing with them and I'm hugging them and you just feel it. You just feel them just kind of just all that tough. Tension, just like, you know, but they wouldn't never ask me for it, so I tell them I need a hug. Let me get one, and then they'll start off like they really, you know. But before I know it, we're in a full blown hug, and it's the same way.
Yep. So, mental health, man, it's important. Suicide prevention for anybody who notices these type of things, man. It's always an outlet, somebody to be able to call, somebody to be able to talk to. And we just got to get these numbers. And, you know, my suggestion is always post preventative maintenance. You know what I'm saying? Somebody needs to see some of those type of things. Like, so if you posted something, whether it be something inspirational, post something else along with it that has a number or guidance to you know a
connection that can actually result in tangible help. Right,
instant resource. Yeah. So, and I did post something today, and I actually, Dre from Dre Dramatics, he posted it.
Shout out to Dre.
Shout out to Dre, Excalibur team.
He's
still team Excalibur.
I got to get down there and see that shop.
Yeah, for sure. It's dope. He's dope. And he posted, I just went on ahead and copy pasted, added a couple of my things to it. But it's important, man. Like we as men, we as brothers, black, white, it don't even matter, you know, your culture. We all have problems. You know, sometimes the things that we see for ourselves way heavier for us, but something is weighing on somebody else the same way. You know, the things that we may think is light is heavy on somebody else, and some people can't bear that burden, and we just got to be able to lift each other up, especially as men, because we so anti-cry,
right?
You know, anti-vulnerability. You know, we so against opening ourselves up that nobody will ever know, and it just so happened the other day. I mean, I'm always in a stoic state.
You is too.
I'm always.
It's hard to find out whether you happy or sad, whatever it is.
I'm always in a stoic state. It's rough, and I'm hard to read, and I fully understand that, and it's not intentional. It's just, man, I know the things that I went through in life, and I can genuinely be happy, but you won't know, or I could genuinely be depressed, and you won't know. But that's because I lack that emotional type of state for myself. You know, just because of the things that I went through. Yeah, so I lack those emotions to be able to be seen. And there's people like that. And but just the other day, man, somebody just hit me up. Hey, we having a guy day. We just all the ladies gone. We just grilling meats. Come through. Man, it was like, I'm gonna do it. I need that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't often go out like that. I like to. I'm an introvert, so I like to be in the house. I like to enjoy my house because most of the time I'm at the shop so long. I like to enjoy my house.
And it's a nice house to enjoy too.
Thank you, brother.
It's a nice house to enjoy. If I may say so myself.
Thank you. I like to just sit there with the wife and chill, watch TV, watch whatever she got on because she loves TV.
Man, I tell you all the time, I love y'all love, man. Somebody asked, I said that when I posted that thing for y'all just real quick. Somebody inboxed me, a friend of mine inboxed me like, you want that for yourself? Do you want that? I'm like, that right now, but I aspire to have that though.
Right.
I aspire to have that though, but yeah, but I do, man. You know what I'm saying?
Let me say this real quick though.
Go ahead.
Because on that, the vulnerability thing. So this is what we plan on doing for that. Like we already have this platform as well, and the platform here kind of derived from that whole gathering of men.
That's what the point of that was, to get defined. In my head, it was to create a space for brothers to come and talk and stuff. But it was also, I knew again, I had a vision, right? If I can get brothers who are really committed to this type of thing, them is who I wanted on the podcast with. You know what I'm saying? So, but go ahead. I ain't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you good. That's the point I was trying to make. Excalibur, we're going to start this new thing. I used to do this event called A Man's Image, which you were awarded a Defy Gravity Award. We'll still do that, but that's for a more open crowd, a larger crowd. Okay. I want to do an event that's for a smaller gathering, like 12 to 15 men, and it's called GUARD. Of course, it's an acronym because that's what I do. Gentlemen United and Gentlemen Unification and Refinery Day. So it's really
say that one more time.
GUARD, Gentlemen Unification and Refinery Day.
Gotcha.
So the day will involve like spa-like treatment, like some facials, some groom therapy sessions, some facials and all of that. Maybe massage, some food, some bourbon, all that good stuff. Yeah. And a guest speaker. But the whole idea is to gather these guys to be able to be vulnerable. So it's really let your guard down. You know what I mean? So to be vulnerable, be open with situations you might have going on in your life, what you might need help with, where you want to be at in life. So providing that platform where we can all just chill, have a counselor or a speaker or a host or a spokesman, whatever, that may be able to guide that day. But we want to talk amongst each other.
I always say this. They say that's the difference. That's the singular most difference why women outlive men. Because they'll sit on the phone with each other for hours and talk and feel great when they get off the phone. Mm-hmm. We ain't about to do that. I tell people all the time, you got a 3 text minimum with me, and I don't know whether this come from prison or not. It probably come from prison because I spent so much time in there. I got probably like 15 minutes of attention for you. And I'm used to them, like after 15 minutes, it's like time to hang the phone call up, right? Yeah. So I'm like, after about 15 minutes, you probably about to lose me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, but they say that's one of the biggest things that helps women outlive. They get that straight, they talk that stress off. And we're becoming more conscious of the need for men to do that. Because like you said before, it's even still today, you just shut up and just deal with it. Yeah. You know, you talk too much, you sound like a girl, right? Is that right? You sound like a girl. Right. So we just shut up and we deal with it. And yeah, because as much as I talk, that's a lot that I don't say, believe it or not. It's a lot that I don't say.
So Larry, I think we got some comments on there too.
See that. It's a lot that I don't say. So Larry, we got some comments on there. Somebody, Maine said it really is hard. Holidays haven't been the same for me in a long time, but I have grandkids that I have to push. And you're right. Like I would say this, and I thought about this, even though I don't got kids, right? Mm-hmm. I thought about how does the single father who doesn't have his kids feel, who wants to be, I ain't talking about the dude who don't even want to acknowledge him, because believe it or not, that's a minority. Even if a brother, the numbers say, even if a brother ain't with his baby mama, he still want to do right by his kids, and he still works and does right by his kids. We don't see that in the news.
Right, it's a different story.
We don't see it in the news, but that's actually, the numbers say that, right? Yeah. So the brother who, because we always, when we think about the holidays, they with the kid, they with the mom, they with the family, usually the mom, family, whatever. So what about the brother? Because this made me just think about that too when you was talking about what people go through that we don't know. Brother sitting at home, he ain't got his babies. He want his babies with him. You know, this is a day he wants, whether you agree with the holiday or not, this is a day he wants to spend with his kids. Like, we got to think about them brothers too, because we always think about the moms. We got to think about them brothers too and how they think. So if you know somebody who might not, who might fit that, man, just give them a call. That's what I would say.
Yep.
You know,
Call
just
them.
give them a call, man, have a conversation with them, invite them over, watch NBA basketball or whatever the case may be.
Send a text.
But overall, check on your people.
Yep.
That's what check on your people. And let's well, how I want to say it. Let's not think on an individual basis right now in this time. That's the best I can say. Let's not think on an individual basis right now. Think about the people that you might not necessarily be seeing on a regular basis. And if you got contact with them, give them a call, just check them, say, hey, you was on my mind. For myself, as y'all know, we got my Christmas event coming up in concert with BBC Barber School, which is another thing under this brother's umbrella, under this cap. So I'm excited about that. I went and did some more Christmas shopping the other day. You know, in spite of what done happened, man, I done had a whole lot of blessings from a lot of places. Still getting calls for people telling me they got toys and stuff. And so I'm excited about just being able to get the kids something, man, that they can, you know, have fun. A lady came in the other day, came into the URC, white lady, and she was like, are y'all having a Christmas event again this year? I'm like, yeah, we having it, da-da-da. And she's like, great, because my son just can't stop talking about it, right? And when she described who the little boy was, I knew who it was immediately. Pulled him right up on my phone, right? And you could tell when he first came in, he wasn't on it.
Yeah.
He wasn't on it. By the time he left, man, boy was cheesing from ear to ear, right? I'm like, man, and I never forgot that. That's why he's still in my phone. So we having that. So if it ain't too late to donate, if you got some toys or whatever, it ain't too late to donate. The event is on December 21st from 12 to 5 at BEBC Barber School. What's the address, Keela?
That's a good question.
But it's on Glenwood. Listen. When I was in the joint,
Too many addresses in my head.
when I was at the joint, dudes used to tell me all the time, if we didn't know you was from Youngstown, we would swear you was lying, because I don't be knowing no addresses, or I just know I know how to get where I need to go.
Point the direction.
And this right, you know, but don't ask me for no directions or no streets or none of that, because I ain't gonna be able to help you out. So, but it's on Glenwood, right next to the Jalix Center, right? Or Washington, right next to Washington's Funeral Home.
Yeah.
Right next to Washington's Funeral Home. So put the word out, man. We're gonna have plenty toys for the kids, candy bags for the kids. We ain't gonna have Santa there. We downsized a little bit, but it's still bring the kids out. Haircuts, like get them fresh. Free cuts.
2246 Glenwood.
2246 Glenwood Avenue, man. From 12 to 5, December 21st, BEBC Barber School. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the possibilities that I have coming up in 2023, man. I was in, I gotta watch what I say, but I was in a event Friday. It was Meet Your Funders event. And I'm in there and I'm sitting with the president of the Ween Foundation. It's me, her, it's Dion, and a couple of her staff. And I'm sitting in there, man, and I'm watching all these people walk up here, and they talk about PNC Bank, the Jewish Community Center, the Community Foundation. All these people walking up there, and they talking about the money that they have, that they want to give to people to try to make our community better, right? And I'm saying to myself, I'm probably the only convicted felon in here at this table, at this conference right now, right? Mm-hmm. Again, it was one of those moments like, who would have thought I would have been on my rack, now I'm here talking with these people about funding a vision that I have. It was amazing, man. It was absolutely amazing. Food wasn't that good, but but it was absolutely amazing, man.
But that whole idea of the situation was amazing. I get it.
Yes.
I got you.
Yes.
That's application is everything.
Yeah.
When you apply what you know, the knowledge that you already had for what you say as a hustler, when you apply that in a different direction, because a lot of things don't change. It's just about how and where you apply it.
Right.
When you're on a positive track, it puts you in those situations, it puts you in those rooms before you know it.
For sure.
Before you have to ask to be at the table.
For sure.
For
sure. You're right. So on that note, appreciate my brother coming, showing up, man, closing the year out for me. Next year, I'm excited. The brother who y'all don't see on the keyboard back there getting everything together, the brother Keith Fly Logan.
Too fly.
Is we about to have this baby when New Year start, it's gonna be like it's going. YouTube, every platform, we putting it on there. We're gonna have every episode, man, something where y'all could get something from it. Y'all learn something, maybe be inspired by something. Hopefully always be inspired, but if at the very least, take a lesson and apply it to your life. So I'm excited about that. I'm just excited to be free, man. I'm just excited to be free, and so I'm walking into that. Somebody said walk into a staff member in Grafton before I got out. He said walk in the feeling of your greatest victory. Walk in the feeling of your greatest victory, right? Mm-hmm. You think about the biggest thing you accomplished in your life and how you felt about it, right? He said, walk in that space, man. And so I'm going to 2023, man, walking in how I felt when I walked out the penitentiary. That's all. With that being said, man, we appreciate y'all tapping in with us. We about to take a little couple break hiatus. Coming to New Year, it's going. We going, and we going hard, man, with nothing but love, respect. Peace.
Peace.